Yo, 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 yo. What's going on, peoples? How y'all doing? How y'all doing this morning? So, you know what this is. It's your boy, T's Cuts, Big T, whatever you want, however you want to spin it. It's me. Look, check it out. This is a little special edition of a glass half empty podcast. Um, this video will go up on YouTube shortly, so stay tuned for it. I'm here on here to address a few things. I had made a podcast a few days ago, and I was talking about how I was able to obtain my gun rights back as a convicted felon. Right. Well, I'm gonna go into a little bit of detail about that. Um, I'm gonna explain how I got my gun rights back in Virginia first. This will be the first one I do. So, if you want to know how you get your gun rights back and you're a convicted felon and you're in Virginia, you might want to tune in. I got some info for you. Now, let me be clear on this. There's a lot of stipulations and a lot of stuff that goes on with this. So I can only speak from my situation, and I'm going to be clear about what my situation was so there won't be any misunderstandings when you go down the rabbit hole or go doing your research to find out about your particular situation. But I can at least tell you how to get started. All right. In Virginia, the state of Virginia. All right. Now I'll be doing the other states too, but I'm going to start with Virginia because that's where my story starts. All right. So in around 1995, I caught a felony, possession with intent to distribute. Right. From that felony, you know, I did my time and stuff like that. And I've had some subsequent like little charges since then, like just misdemeanor weed charges, stuff like that, you know. But I went through that process. I went through the whole probation period, got off probation. I left Virginia Beach, particularly. That was the city I was in. I left Virginia Beach, and, you know, years passed. So before I even considered, I was 40 something. I was around 18 when I caught the charge. I was 42 41, 42 when I decided I wanted to get my gun rights back, right? So that means, you know, a lot of things don't happen since then, but I hadn't been in any more trouble. I hadn't caught no other felony, nothing like that. So through all those years, I had managed to stay out of trouble, right? So what I had to do when I decided I wanted to try to get my gun rights back, because I'd always been told a convicted felon can't get their gun rights. So what I had to do, what I did to start the process was I looked up how to get Google how to get my gun rights back in Virginia. All right. So Virginia doesn't offer expungement, right? So you have to petition the court first. The first thing you have to do is petition the court to get your civil rights back, right? It had been a long time since I've been in any trouble. So I petitioned the court. I petitioned the court. I got my civil rights back, right? They granted me back my civil rights. When that paper came, on that paper, it also says, if you want to get your gun rights back, because just because your civil rights back doesn't mean your gun rights have been restored. If you want to get your gun rights back, you have to petition the court to get a date to come to court and then argue your case, right? So that's what I did. I petitioned the court. I paid my money and petitioned the court for a date to come to court so I can argue my case to get my gun rights back. They send you a pamphlet at this point, a bunch of papers with a whole bunch of legal jargon on it that I just didn't really understand. So at this point, I had to contact a gun rights lawyer, and it was a gun rights lawyer in the Virginia area, in the Hampton Roads area, you know, to be precise about it, was in the Hampton Roads area. So I called up 3 lawyers. One of them was 1,200. One of them said they'll take my case, can't guarantee. Another one was like 15, 18, take my case, but we can't guarantee. Found one out Hampton for $2,000, and he could guarantee that he would, you know, that he would get my rights back. And he said it's going to take some time because this isn't nothing that's going to happen in 2-3 weeks. This is going to take a little bit of time. Your lawyer might tell you need to come to court. You might have to come to court 2-3 times. I had to go up there 2 or 3 times before I was in front of the judge that my lawyer wanted me into. A lawyer is key because once they give you all that stuff be saying stuff, I don't know nothing. A lawyer is key because all of that has to be filled out right. So he took my case, my day came, I petitioned the court gave me a date, my day came, I came to court, he argued for me, after the judge seen it my way, and he gave me back my rights. Just that simple. That's my case because that's one felony, few misdemeanor weed charges, but just one felony, no major anything since then. And there's like I said, there's stipulations. So if that was a federal charge, this is a state charge I had. If that was a federal charge, it changes. It's different. I'm not sure on it, but from what I read, it doesn't seem like you could get a gun if you have federal charges, right? If you have any kind of violent charges, right? So if you've been in a bar fight, if you've had domestic abuse, if you've had any kind of violent charges, then that also eliminates you from being able to get your rights restored. Now, there's a way, but you have to really dive down into it. I'm just giving you the way I did it with one felony and the charge I had. But no matter what the process is, you have to, most likely, if you have some kind of drug charge or something like that, your civil rights have been taken from you. And so that's the first thing you have to do in Virginia is to go get your civil rights restored and then petition the court. And then that's just all once you find you a lawyer, because a lawyer is also key too. They can fill in everything else. Unless you're just good at this stuff and you keep going down and you figure it out, then yeah. Like I said, I'm no lawyer. I just know what I had to do for myself to get it. And I can give you a few gems on where to get started. I'm going to do all the states. The next state I'm going to do is North Carolina. So just stay tuned for the video. This video is going up on YouTube. So just stay tuned for the video for North Carolina. And I'll tell y'all how you're able to, because I'm currently living in North Carolina now. And I never went up there and got my license in Virginia. I just brought that paper from the jurisdiction I caught the felony in to get a license. So I'll be able to get my license down here. So, like I said, my felony was in another state. So, but I am going to explain that in my next video for North Carolina. But yeah, you got to make sure you have your stuff together when you go and do this, because it's, and it's kind of complicated. It's a long process, but it's worth it if you want to have your rights to get a concealed and carry, because you can get everything once you get that. You get a concealed and carry, you can get everything you need and be a convicted felon. So don't let people tell you you can't get a gun because you're a convicted felon. Everybody you have the right to bear arms, and there is a difference between carrying a weapon and the right to bear arms. There's a difference between them. I understand that, but you can get your gun license back, and that's the procedure to get it back in Virginia. I think the best gun rights lawyers are in Hampton. There could be another one in Virginia, but the ones I called in Virginia couldn't guarantee the one in Hampton did. So I'm just saying that if that's what you're trying to do, then that's the procedure you have to follow. Everybody's case is going to be different because everybody has different charges. Some person out there might have the exact same charge I have, and it's just that easy. Ain't been in no more trouble, been a lot of years past, and you haven't, did anything. You might be in the same position I am, but that's all you have to do. So yeah, I appreciate all the love y'all been showing me on my podcast journey. Please click, share, like, subscribe. And I'm going to be dropping more videos like this to help people with, if I mention something in one of my podcasts and I got the knowledge, I can help you with it. But, like with this, I kind of know a little bit about it, but I'm not a lawyer. So you have to get with a lawyer and look up and do the research also on your own. But y'all have a good morning. Hope y'all have a blessed Monday and everything works out for you good. Y'all take care. Tune in.